My mother endangered my son's life, and my sister asks me to forgive her. Since childhood, my relationship with my mother has been strained. After my father's sudden death when I was 6, she became distant and bitter. Despite my efforts to help around the house and take care of my younger sister Jane, I never received her affection. Over time, I rebelled, which only widened the gap between us, while she clearly favored Jane. After high school, I moved away to attend college and start fresh. I got married and had a son, Jaden, who suffers from life-threatening allergies to 10 different foods. On medical advice, we adopted a strict vegan diet. I kept minimal contact with my family until my divorce forced me to return to my hometown. Jane wanted to reconnect and unexpectedly brought my mother to my house. For Jaden's sake, I tried to rebuild our relationship, but it wasn't long before my mother began overstepping boundaries, ignoring my rules, and asserting her control. When I asked her to respect my limits, she reacted with hostility, reopening old wounds. One day, I needed an emergency caregiver for Jaden. Against my better judgment, I let my mother look after him. I gave her clear instructions about his allergies, along with a detailed list of safe foods. She disregarded everything, fed him something dangerous, and he ended up in the hospital with a severe reaction. Instead of taking responsibility, she blamed my son and downplayed the incident. That was the breaking point. I decided I couldn't trust her and prohibited unsupervised visits with Jaden. Jane accused me of overreacting and pressured me to forgive her, but my son's safety came first. Later, for Jaden's birthday, my mother sent gifts containing ingredients he was allergic to. When I confronted her, she insulted me and questioned my parenting. Exhausted by her behavior and fearing for my son's well-being, I cut ties with her. My family criticized me, but I stood firm. Jane refused to see the seriousness of the situation, and our relationship grew distant. Eventually, my mother was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and hospitalized for treatment. While her condition improved, I couldn't forget the danger she'd put my son in. 6 years later, Jane left her own child in our mother's care, and he too was put at risk due to her negligence. Only then did Jane understand my stance, and we agreed to maintain our distance.